right. Hi, Neel. Hello. Welcome in the episode 3. I am so excited for today because we have very important subject that Neel and I will explore and will share with you just our personal experience and expression of how we feel about what we're going to talk today. And this is about how we can, as a humans and humanity, actually bring our differences with a more compassion, love, and acceptance without division. So welcome, beautiful souls and beautiful people, beautiful humans in episode 3 of Marina and Neel's talk. And before we start, I will just give the word to my beautiful friend Neel to invite all of us, to drop first into our hearts so we can connect through this conversation, our hearts, and so all of you can really receive with the heart, into your heart, those informations and also receive those codes and informations what resonates with you. So here we go. Neel, it's your words.
Okay, everyone. So I just want you to close your eyes quickly and just place your attention in the space your heart occupies in space. And I want you just to breathe life into your heart and exhale, and do it 2 more times. And feel the qualities of openness and connection and receptivity. Receptivity to information, receptivity to energy, and receptivity to growth. Good. And just expand that consciousness from your heart. Imagine like a golden bubble extending from the heart space. Good. Okay, so we're all ready now to receive information from this podcast. And today it's about embracing our differences and seeing our differences as one. So I want to just start with this. So I feel like obviously in this reality there's a lot of separation, there's a lot of division, and we get identified. I feel like I'm looking from a strategic point of view, but one strategy that a lot of people use to control other people is that they divide and conquer. So they always divide people into their races, their religions, their countries, and each separation, the energy becomes more and more constricted, and you become identified within the perceptual prison of that system. And what happens is as we identify more with whatever we get identified with, we become more narrow-minded and narrow-hearted. Our heart centers shut off, and we don't really receive or feel, or we don't really resonate, or just we're not open from that heart space anymore. We just go with whatever we agree with, and and whatever religion or culture or conditioning that we have been imprinted with. So then we never really reclaim our own sense of power, because the more divided you are, the less I think one thing with Marina, when I first spoke to her, I think one of the things she was saying is that everyone has value. So what happens is that when we divide, we shut off we only see what we want to see, but then we also don't see the value or spirit in what we don't believe in. And then what does that mean? That means then that you're allowing whatever is creating that division to control you, because you can never, you've limited your power, because we are creative beings, but we create together. If you're divided, how can you create together? You can only create by yourself or within that religion, but then that religion is controlling you in the first place. But yeah, I just wanted to start off the podcast, and I guess I don't really have a question for Marina now, but I just wanted to invite her to just say whatever she wants.
I love, Neel, when you're asking me questions. Yes, go ahead. I hope so. I will know answer. At least will be from the heart, 100%. So go ahead.
How in your life have you seen like how our differences create separation?
Wow, I had so many times in my life, Neil, that experience, especially that I'm coming from Serbia, very small country on the Balkan, from Belgrade. And, we had through history so many wars around. And also in 1999, we were bombarded. So I was sleeping with my family 3 months in the basement. Also, our country was in a sanction for so long. I remember myself when I was 10 years old, first time standing in the line. My mom sent me in the market and she sent me to wait in a long line just to get one bread and 1 liter of milk. So I remember that when I was 10, or waiting 1 hour bus on the bus stations to go into my school. So as a child, when I grow through life by watching other kids outside of Serbia in the Europe or in the Western world, right? I was thinking that I'm not good enough, that there is a difference because I'm Serbian. That the other kids and other people deserve more. And we can also witness that separation that is going and going and going on, Neil, in our world. So that really, really make me angry, make me upset, make me sad. And I will again mention what is happening in Palestine, in Sudan, and the countries around. So we have this division that we created, and our illusion of our minds that we are different, but actually we are not separation, we are unity. And I'm truly, truly praying, and that's why we are doing this podcast today, because I consider that this subject is deeply, 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 Neil, important. And I can tell you also, when I moved from my country here in Dubai, when you I remember that also I started working for corporate here, and that was my first time working for corporate, because I was running my ladies only fitness club back home. And I was in acting because I'm graduated actress also, so I was in acting. So I never worked for somebody, and was first time here that I start working for corporate. So I could witness in the corporate that because I'm Serbian with the same degree, with the same qualifications, my salary wasn't the same like somebody who is maybe from UK or from Germany. So we even though that we have amazing knowledge, and even though it's showing that you are maybe better in what you do, like no matter. So also we had this division and this separation of classifying, right, the worth of other people. So yeah, there is a lot of things that actually conditioned me as a child, of going through my life and really making choices that make me to procrastinate, to sabotage myself, to be scared to pursue, be scared to ask, be scared to be more confident and to pursue more what my soul really desire. So I feel I always needed to work hard for that. And once I realized that there is a way actually to rewire that within my system, and to clear out conditioning of the collective for the decades and hundreds of years that are in ourselves, and also from my childhood, what I witnessed, right, in front of my eyes and in my environment, that others from outside telling you how much worthy you are depends of your skin color, depends of from country where you are. So I think so that all these modalities, the old earth, I can say that's the old earth. And I think so we are in transition into now planting the seed for actually creating the new earth, something that is better, something that unites us and not separates us. Because each one of us, this is deeply my heart, what I believe and how I see other human beings, especially living in Dubai, that is, I think so we have 68 cultures here, which is so beautiful. So we are showing that we can respect and love each other and learn about each other living here, right? And accept each other. So each one of us brings unique perspectives. and the instinct story, right? And it's a personal expression that really adds to the rich tapestry, really, of this humanity. And separation, Neel, is illusion that creates really barriers in our hearts and our minds. How beautifully you says. And when we really view others, through the lens of separation, we actually miss the opportunity to connect deeply and authentically, first of all with ourselves and then also with others. So I'm deeply praying that we all can get smarter and we can make better choices, really, because everything starts from us. As long as we start working on ourselves and getting awakened, we can and change the old programs within us from the old structure that I don't believe that will work anymore, because we can see that it's breaking into pieces. I hope so that humans and humanity will come together and we can see each other with the beauty, really, because it's a beauty in difference. Will be boring world if we are all the same, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is my answer. Is the process, it's really, Neel, the process. And you're young. I want to ask you now, you as a young human being, so we can also share. You are 20 years old and I'm almost 45, so we are two generations, right? So I want to ask you how you feel about this subject, how you feel. Also, we can start also from the family, right? We can experience this diversity in the family.
I feel, yeah, I just agree with what you're saying. I mean, I resonate with your own life experience, and yeah, I just feel that a lot of separation is the root cause of so many problems on Earth, and I feel that everyone, like even in my family as well, everyone's so isolated. But I also feel that this state of connection, I feel like what Marina is saying as well, is like this state of connection is not something we just we cannot just pretend and say, oh yeah, we're different political parties, but I can see what you're saying and I still love you for that. No, that's not how it's going to work. You can't pretend. You can't fake connection, because a human connection is not something that's it's not superficial. It's not even like physical. It's non-physical. So, well, it's both physical and non-physical, because there's no separation between that too. But what I'm saying is we have to. So, I mean, it's good. So first of all, we have the awareness that we've given that, well, we feel that separation is the cause of so many problems. But then the question is, what do we do after that? We can, like, okay, we can have, I mean, it's terrible that we have wars, we have, religion. Well, yeah, so people have different views on different religions and they worship different gods for different reasons. So we have all these sort of differences, and that's great. Like, I feel culture is good too. It's not, so everything has like, as Marina told me earlier, everything has a value. So in our separation, that also has, I feel the differences have value. Separation doesn't have value, which is, I feel that's a thing to make out. So separation doesn't have value, but the differences and, the way people do things, like I can say different types of martial arts. I mean, I did a bit of martial art, but I'm saying they all have value in itself. But like, different artists have different value. Okay, it's all expression. It's all love being expressed in like a multitude of forms. So that's it anyway. So the first thing for me is like, so we recognize we have awareness, right? So awareness is always a precursor to experience. So first of all, we have awareness that, okay, so in this video podcast, we have the awareness that separation could be, or we're saying it is, but that's our own perspective. But we're expressing that separation could be the cause of many problems on Earth. Okay, so we have that awareness, but then the question is, what are we going to do? Because we can I know it's bad. We can look at we can look at news. We can see. I mean, it's great to raise awareness about wars and unfortunate events, and suffering is real. It's not fake, and people don't realize that, and it's difficult. But also, there's also so much we can metabolize as well. But then, so the question is, so we have separation as the problem, but then also from what I've learned in life, the problem can be the solution. So we have so I feel like for me, it's like, okay, so we have first of all, then how do we so if we could fight separation, but I feel fighting separation always creates separation. So I feel like it's not about fighting it, but it's about resolving, or we go inwards instead of I don't feel it's about like arguing and saying, oh, you're being separate to me, and yeah.
And Neil, sorry, I just wanted to sorry to interrupt you. I just really think that is really good moment to come in, because you actually said something that I wanted now to connect this question. You says going within, and when we're talking about separation, I just come to me. We're talking about that. Don't you think, because everything really starts from us? We are the part of the ecosystem, right? We are part of the collective. So we have the personal life, but also we are engaging creation of the collective, right? All of us together. So don't you think also that maybe on some level our internal separation from ourselves and this divided side of ourselves, that we are completely separated from who truly we are, which means our body and our emotional body, also the essence of who we are as a human beings. When we are separated and rejected ourselves and not accepting ourselves, who we are and how we are, so this is the energy that we are emanating to the world, the energy that we are producing in our families, in our careers, in our relationships, right? On every single level, no matter where we are. So what you think about being separated within, and then how we can have capacity if we are separated, so divided within, to actually create world that we can receive with love, that we can accept and have capacity to accept other human beings, other culture, other human beings, differences, and see what we can do productively about it. So that's why this podcast is so important.
I feel what Marina is saying is very valuable, because even just, okay, say we have separation inside of ourselves and we have, parts of us that we deny, reject, repress, suppress. But then just energetically, on an energetic level, if we kind of, if we just accept, so if we accept that us as us, we give love to a part of us that we do not want to see, or we have shut it down because of trauma or whatever. If we accept that as us, on an energetic level, what does that mean? Well, it means we're connecting with it. So what does it mean? We're connecting with us. Who is us? Us is, there's only one us, really. There's only one consciousness. So on an individual microcosm level, let's say I'm a human here, Marina's there, but we're connecting with us, in ourselves. So okay, so we're connecting with. So if you think about that, so we're already connecting in ourselves with ourselves. So then if you think about like a pebble dropping in say this reality is not as physical as we perceive it to be. If we have a pebble dropping in an ocean, and we have, so that's like the energy, or like we have, I feel like it's a ripple effect. So we drop something, so we're changing the energy, we're changing that ripple that comes out from us. So as we connect, I feel like Marina was saying, like as we connect more to us, inside of us, and us is really not even me and Marina, it's us is just me and like God or universe.
Everything. Yes.
There's only one consciousness. It's not like, it depends what you identify with, but sometimes I don't really identify with myself, because I'm not really me. I mean, yeah, I'm here, but so I feel like as we kind of connect with us and ourselves, we just ripple that towards others. So we don't really, I feel, as Marina's saying, so as I said earlier as well, so we recognize the problem is that we have separation, but then how do we solve that? Is we have to connect in ourselves first, because every action, everything in this third dimensional reality is a complete extension of energy. So if you're not going to change the energy driving the action, then the action won't change. I mean, we can do a lot of third dimensional things, like we can do a lot of physical stuff. We can have thing is, for me, protests create more separation. So I know people think, but I mean, my view is different, but I can see why they think that. But for me, I don't think it's about fighting, or I don't think it's about resisting, for me. So I don't see how a third. I see it more as we have to release all resistance and separation in ourselves first, and then we create from a energy of wholeness, and that energy carries our expression and our intention, and then we create new, as Marina is saying about, like a new earth or new systems, we create that from a very different energy to the system, to the energy that created the old systems in the first place. Yeah.
Absolutely. I so deeply agree with you. So, every time when I'm thinking about unity, and I always love humanity and everything that is connected to creating better world, really helping others. So always been in my heart, always been there, Neil. So, and sometimes, really when I'm sitting and just watching around and witnessing our world right now, I'm just thinking how we came till that level here, how we actually created all of that. And this is exactly that for the decades and years, we are separated really truly within ourselves. So if these pieces are broken and separated within us, and we don't accept them truly with love, like we say, we have fear, right? So if we reject our fears and we don't accept them and we don't put light into them and we don't bring awareness into our fears and bring them into our hearts to see what they want to show us. So how we can change this energy. So I feel that really our differences should be celebrated. It's really through embracing our diverse perspectives, right? That we learn, that we grow and evolve. So this is one example. Can you think about the world as a garden? If our world is a big garden, and each flower in that garden, right? Each plant that is there really adds to this overall beauty of that garden. So in the same way, our unique expression, our authenticity and contribution, it's actually the richness of life, the richness of our planet that we bring. So for me, there is no, I am better than you, I am you and you are me. And when I see you, I can see myself, because you came in my space for me to learn something about myself, to learn about my strengths or my weaknesses, to evolve myself differently. And then I welcome you in my table, so because I want to learn more and to grow more without judgment, right? And I truly accept you and I truly love you. So imagine if we slowly start changing our old perspectives and old conditions and old beliefs and old earth structure. We really need to drop down everything. How they say, how many times we need to die internally, right? So we can create something new. Evolution doesn't happen in, just from the comfort zone and staying the same all the time and accepting the same. So if we really want to change the history, the energy of this planet, the energy of the humanity, we really need to drop down the old system, the old beliefs about each other. Like I mentioned at the beginning, what I believe, because I am Serbian, I'm not worthy enough, that I'm not good enough, that I need to work hard and study so many universities so I can show externally that actually I'm valuable. And that's the old structure. That's the old mentality that doesn't bring us wealth of the health, doesn't bring us any aligned and beautiful creation. It brings an destroyed health. It brings separation in families, in marriages, like in our intimate relationships, in our careers. So it doesn't really bring nothing good. So imagine if we can really be with open hearts and have this consciousness and awareness.
I feel also, I wanted to say, like, in I feel like even in spirituality or there is a lot of separation. I know we
Oh, yeah.
obviously spoke about that earlier, but I feel like um, even because people seek something, we're seeking a system to try and unite us, but then that same system is what separates us.
Separation.
We get lost in the act of
Yeah.
trying to. So I feel like, okay, so because we're always chasing this state of being, I don't know, high vibration or whatever. So we're always chasing a state of superiority. And I think I wrote a blog very long time ago on this, like why I became a spiritual snob. I called it a snob because because what happened was I started
I
scanning
love
everyone.
that, Neil. I love that.
You know, I started because when I had like, so I started scanning everyone's energy, and then I was like just measuring them and then basing everything on them. So like it wasn't very it wasn't very heart consciousness. So I feel like it's not about, I think what Marina's saying, it's not about who's better or who's right. I feel like also the other thing for me is there's no, I know, I mean, there's a lot of bad things in this reality, but also I mean, this is a different point, but I do feel like duality is, for me also, I kind of have to accept that um that bad is like, I know it's bad. I'm not saying I'm giving up, but I'm saying this is a different point, but I just feel like we have to also accept that duality is a part of life, but then the question is, what part do we want to play?
Yeah,
Because I feel
exactly.
like, yeah,
Please,
Marina can
please
say.
finish. No, 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 please finish.
I don't know. I mean, what part do we want to play? Do we want to play good? Do we want to play bad? I feel like still, I know some people argue that like people that are evil or disconnected from God, source, universe, they play bad because they have trauma. Because the thing is, the people that create separation, they always everything that's from separation is always based in an energy of lack or an energy of trauma. You wouldn't really create something um you wouldn't create a war from the energy of love. So you're creating, thing is, so I still feel that for me as well, because I'm exploring more of these dark things, I still feel that I don't see, because for me also, I don't see myself above, well, I don't want to see myself above, because the thing is with a lot of spiritual people, especially what they call light workers, or they call it, you know, so they see themselves above evil, or they see themselves above darkness, but then that in itself for me is separation. I feel like it's not about who's right or who's wrong. It's about just being, at the end of the day, it's about being you. It's not about trying to save, for me also, it's not about trying to save Earth, even though I do want to help Earth, but it's not about being, because then you're playing the role of savior. But then for me, it's about being myself, and, you know, I could help people being myself, and that's great. But I'm not trying to kind of, because I also feel like we create separation when we look at our roles. If we look at who we are, and then we kind of always give ourselves more identities, and we like say, oh, I'm spiritual, I'm high vibration, I've got all this
Yeah.
power, and I'm here to save Earth, a guy or whatever, raise the vibration to fifth dimension, whatever. But basically
Okay.
that narrative. But then for me also, it's not about, I feel like you get caught in the act, but then also those people, some of those people I've seen, they think they're above the people that aren't doing that. And for me, that's wrong. That's why I
Yeah.
wrote the blog Spiritual Snob, because no one's above anyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nobody is above anyone. Nobody. And I share with you, Neil, I'm not driving here in Dubai, so I'm always going with a taxi, and I love, love, love speaking with the taxi drivers because I genuinely so grateful for them, driving me so all over the place. So today I was talking with the driver, and he asked me, Madame, how are you feeling today? And I says, I feel great. I feel very, very good. But also on another side, I feel angry and sad and upset because of some videos that I just saw from Palestine. And he told me, ah, Madame, I know, but we cannot change nothing. And I tell to him, I need to stop you here. And if you allow me, I wanted just to guide you and to correct you. We can't change everything. We as a humanity, we have power to change everything. So we have the power to accept each other. We have the power to at least, Neil, to lower separation. Because like you says, bad things and polarity world, right? We have polarity, will always exist. We cannot delete completely bad things. But if we are like this, if we are completely on a high massive disbalance, so we need to see what we need to do and what we did on the way and the future generations. So today we are serving the same mentality and the same consciousness, that creating the same ripple effect of pain. And this is the only thing. So I tell to him, we have all power to change the things. And today we are recording. This was absolutely beautiful schlagwort for what we are talking about. So Neel, if you allow me, we to bring to the end slowly our podcast for today. This is such an important and massive subject. We can talk about this maybe extra some other times, but if you would like to share something for the end, and we can slowly wrap up everything.
Yeah, I just feel we can end this podcast I feel like where we started the podcast as well. So just like we're just gonna allow this message, because we're quite receptive to the information. We want to just allow this message to really sink in, and that we want to be more in the heart space, because I feel like when we're in that space, then we're always level. So when I was speaking to Marina today, I was just like kind of tuning into her heart. So we're kind of always at a level. I'm not trying to be above or below, because I feel like for me that's one technique I use, but I just do it because I know we're not trying to, we're just acknowledging spirit. We're acknowledging spirit in action. Whatever it does is good, whatever it doesn't do is good. There's no judgment, there's no criticism, and there's no separation from that judgment or criticism. But yeah, I don't really want to say more, but I feel like that's it. Yeah.
And that's beautiful. And I just wanted to add on that, yeah, when we look through the lens of our hearts, and when we process there everything which is our emotional space, so everything looks really, really and feels different. So we can accept others on a different level. And so let's commit actually to seeing beyond the illusion of separation between each other, and let's embrace our differences, and let's we celebrate our unique expressions and who truly we are, and to build actually the world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. And remember, we actually are stronger together. And thank you for joining us today to Marina's and Neel's conversations. Until next time, stay empowered and keep actually shining your light, because you are important and this world needs you. So we are sending you so much love. Ciao.